Well, I would really like to see you in person, Brenda, but you know what? It is so good to see a longtime friend. And, you know, you have been so busy, girl, so proud. Made in Manitoba, Masterclass. This is the theater series. Folks, if you ever dreamed of wanting to be either in front of the camera, being on stage, performing, acting, singing, dancing, this is your chance to shine. And it's all because of Brenda. So I want to welcome Brenda Gorlick. It's so good to see you, although, you know, it's virtual. I give you a virtual hug. Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, congratulations, but let's get right into it. Made in Manitoba, it starts now. Tell us more about it.
You bet. Well, it was a program that came out of necessity. Traditionally, I was teaching musical theater programming through the summer, live and in person. And when everything shut down, as we all know, we had to pivot. So came up with a concept where we took some of the best and brightest stars and professionals in the field of theater and music and dance, and I created a program called Made in Manitoba Masterclass. And it started in June, actually. So I had actually reached out to the educators before the end of the school term, knowing that they were probably needing some online Zoom material. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of how it started. I reached out also to former students of mine and or colleagues who are born, raised, and or trained in Winnipeg, Manitoba. And they had all been working professionally somewhere in the world. So we're talking New York, London, England, Melbourne, Australia, West Coast of Canada. And these wonderful people all said yes to say they would love to be part of the Made in Manitoba Masterclass. And we started with teaching dance, as you said, music, acting, improvisation. Now we were expanding this round. This is actually our fourth round. We had 2 virtuals, 1 week of live in August when we were open for a very short while. And then we had virtual in November through the month of November. And now we're lucky enough to have received a Safe at Home Manitoba grant to run January and February programming. So we've expanded to include All Abilities Dance. Yay. And we're calling it All Access Dance. And I'm very proud of that program because it was something that actually you and I started many years ago through the SMD organization, which is now Manitoba Possible. So we're going to be teaching dance to all abilities, all ages. We're also expanding to include the deaf and non and hard of hearing community. We've got a mime program, which you'll hear about shortly. And this is something where, you know, we're all kind of stuck in our home bases, and we want to be able to still expand our minds and our bodies and our energies and our creative abilities. So this was sort of something I've worked towards, and this is what I had hoped for and prayed for, and the province of Manitoba came through. Yay!
Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? We'll come back to you, Brenda, because there's a lot more to involved. But I want to now invite Shannon, my good friend Shannon Guile, and hey, it is so wonderful to see you, and a lot has happened for you personally too in 2020. But Shannon, I guess share a little bit more on your involvement with this masterclass series and what you hope that you can bring.
Absolutely, yeah. So the masterclass series, that portion that I'm teaching is mime and storytelling. It's a subject that's near and dear to my heart. And I've been teaching it for over 10 years, but I have had opened up to the deaf community as well in, I think it was 2012. And since then, I've been closely connected with their community because they don't have as much opportunity for training, and we've changed that a lot now. So this is just another opportunity to expand so that it's not just for the deaf and hard of hearing community. It's also for the hearing community, but to show that we can all work together. We can all be together. So it's very exciting to have a workshop that's open to everybody.
Yeah, you know, and I had the privilege too of seeing some of the works that you have done over the years, and I was blown away. And I mean, there's so much talent, as we know, but like you said, to open the doors to young people or people of all ages, you know, to share that experience and give that to them, just to see their expressions, unbelievable. So I think this is so wonderful that Brenda had this idea, and that you're giving it this access to everybody, being it free. And that's a great segue to introduce David Lightfoot. I remember you. And how are you doing, David?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good.
Good, good. So I want to talk now about your experience being an all abilities dancer. More importantly, David, for you, the ability to dance, that whole experience. Can you describe what it has meant to you over all of these years?
Well, I would say it is good exercise, although more my passion does lie in writing,
Wow.
and in and recently I actually had a short story published in Scarlet Leaf Review magazine, which is published on the web in Toronto. It's a very long short story called "The Dinner Is Ruined," and because of the fact that there's so much dialogue into it, I actually transformed this into a stage play.
Fantastic. Now, did you ever, in your wildest dreams, David, ever think that you'd be able to do this, all of this?
I
Or,
did. I did have. I actually dreamt about this. Dreamt about seeing my first publication when I was younger, like maybe in my 20s. But I didn't actually move to Winnipeg until I was 29, and thanks to the resources that were available, my career in writing is now emerging.
well, congratulations. And what does writing bring for you now, David?
It actually gives it actually gives me an opportunity to use my brain creatively, because I know that but that as a person with cerebral palsy, I know that I probably wouldn't make it very far, like doing anything with so much physical ability like trade work, and I would probably need a career that didn't require a lot of walking around, like maybe sitting at a desk.
Wow, well, that's an amazing, amazing thing that you've done, despite all of this, pandemic and lockdown. Brenda, I guess that's a great testament to what the arts really truly mean to people, and the success story, like in David's case.
Absolutely. I've been one of the most blessed people in as much as I've only ever worked in the arts from a very young age, even when you and I were training together as young fun heads.
That's
And
ballet.
I've never left the industry, and neither have you. You've always been involved in the performing arts. And it feeds us in so many ways. And I've also, as an educator, been able to share so much, this is the discovery of spirit in people. Sometimes, when you least expect it, somebody's going to say, you know what, that changed my world. That shifted me into a brand new direction, just as it has with David. I've seen those types of stories evolve through artisan schools programs and through our theater. We've been running Winnipeg Studio Theater since 2006. And you get live audiences. We've got a training wing, the Studio Works Academy. The beautiful thing is, we've turned out some amazing professionals who, again, are some of the masterclass leaders now. They've been working on Broadway. They've been working in the West End. They've been touring the world. They've been creating, directing, choreographing.
We'll just put up the poster that you sent me too for all the instructors in the master class. There's Shannon, we've seen them, and you've got the roster is amazing. Samantha Hill, Andrea Macasset, the list goes on, and we don't know about this, or a lot of people don't. So I'm very, very happy and proud to say that they are being showcased and they're able to share their experiences, because you do have a section where it says "Ask a Broadway Star." I'm kind of curious about that.
Exactly. Well, we're going to have a panel of some of these people, again, former Manitobans, and most of them are back home because of COVID. They will be able to man a Zoom room and answer questions from the general public to say, so what's it like? What was your journey? How did you get to the stage? What are you doing now? How do you keep yourself active? How do you keep yourself safe? How do you keep yourself alive? Our opening weekend is January 10th. And in fact, we're starting with theatrical makeup. So if people want to learn how to apply everything from naturalism to aged makeup to creative, zany, over-the-top makeup. Jean-Marc Lafont from our community is starting with a three package set. In fact, most of the programming is done in threes. So there will be
Okay.
3 dance classes for youth, 3 dance classes for adults. There will be 3 sets of mime classes.
Wow, so you get, yeah, we're gonna get the full bore, tutorial on all of this. So I think it's amazing, and it's absolutely free. So
I
I
know.
think that's fascinating, Shannon. I just want to ask you. Everybody has their own story to share through all of 2020, and now that we're in 2021, what have you learned as far as being an actor, being a comedian, and the livelihood of a performing artist? And what is that going to look like in the future?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I found that there's a word that Brenda used, which is pivot, and that's what we've kind of been trained to do, is to learn how to just work on the spot and figure things out in a moment. And even for like I produced, created, and going to be acting in a play at MTYP this year, and I mean, it's changed entirely. It's now, instead of being a full run, it's just a few shows, but now we're pivoting to focus to be more online and make it more digital and make it more accessible. And it's exciting because it's challenged us in such a different way. And I think that a lot of artists are feeling that at first it was scary, and then it opened up this whole new world that fear had prevented us from stepping into. And there's so many more opportunities now that you can expand into, and different challenges, and even teaching mime. I teach at the University of Winnipeg, and I'm teaching on Zoom, and it's been a fun little challenge, even in the way that I'm teaching and how I can make it interesting for all the students and what we can do. So yeah, I think that, I mean, change is always scary at first, but it always opens up more doors.
Most certainly. And David, for you, what's your next project? A big novel? Maybe a screenplay?
Well, I am currently, well, I am working on some short stories and getting them into literary journals in hopes to get my foot in the door to hopefully impress agents and literary publishing houses. But one of my current works in progress is actually a humanitarian project.
Wow.
I'm actually writing a 5-book saga for young adult readers based on actually inspired by the Twilight and the Hunger Games and the Mortal Instruments that made the romance, action, and adventures series for young adult readers very trendy. It actually gives the comic book and cartoon superheroes their own day in the sun. It's called The Glory of Love. And the reason why I said it's a humanitarian project, I'm actually trying to work with a Cystic Fibrosis Foundation in the United States. It's a celebrity charity. It's called the Boomer Esiason Foundation, and it's in connection to former NFL quarterback, I should say, Boomer Esiason, who actually does commentary on both football and sports on CBS mainly. And for the Boomer Esiason Foundation, these books contain subplots related to cystic fibrosis and related fundraising, as well as professional football and sports. My first completed novel, The Glory of Love, actually contains a cystic fibrosis fundraising subplot, while my second book, Lovers at a Dangerous Time, actually contains a pro football subplot. And my third novel, which is a current work in progress, it's called Every Breath You Take. You notice the trend with the titling?
Yes, I do. Like, I was wondering, is there a copyright issue here or no?
No, I just thought that, Stephanie Meyer had a theme for the title of her books, and I thought, why not? As a music enthusiast, I may as well do the same. So anyway, my third novel, Every Breath You Take, also revisits the cystic fibrosis and fundraising subplots. And another novel that I'm I'm working on, I should say, is actually a dystopian inspired by Margaret Atwood's The Handmaid's Tale,
Wow.
especially success of the TV series. But this time, it actually gives the men the handmaid treatment. And as a little spoiler, the men have to go around the yeah. Start again. As a spoiler, there was an alien invasion has contaminated the water supply in in all of North America, in most of North America, I should say. The state of Hawaii remains unaffected, and apparently it affected the men's ability to reproduce.
Ooh.
In an overthrow of so unfortunately the North American government has been overthrown. Canada and the United States no longer exist, and it's now the Republic. It's now the Republic of Delenley, where again the women have control of the men in order to keep the
Procreate.
population from going down. The men have to go around impregnating women.
Oh my goodness, David. That's a lot of reading and so interesting. I cannot believe that. Such a creative mind. So congratulations to you. I think you've done quite a bit of work. Brenda, before we go, just maybe to wrap things up, where can people go to sign up and take in some of these incredible classes?
Great. Well, we have our website poised and ready to go. It's winnipegstudiotheater.com/workshops/ I always
Yes.
get those mixed up. They're that way.
yeah, it's /, yeah.
And you can sign up for one or all. There are a total of 26 workshops, but 8 kind of modules. And they are defined by, there's a full schedule on our website, and there are age
Age-appropriate.
definitions as well.
Age
So there's
divisions,
youth
yeah.
and adult, basically categories. And I think it's going to be a great time. We've already had quite a few people just like click and entering our page and signing up. So I'm very excited to take it
Oh,
to them.
yes. Oh, you know what? I think it couldn't come at a more important time. It's January through February, and well, you know what? Winter's here, and I
Yes.
think it's wonderful. So congratulations! Thank you so much, Shannon, for joining us. And I actually am looking forward to that play with MTYP too as well. So fill us or keep us abreast on when that's all going to happen. I'd love to have you back.
And she forgot the biggest thing that happened to her in 2020. I
Oh.
don't think you mentioned it. She had a baby.
Oh,
baby.
we had a baby. Oh, just a little thing.
Little thing.
Oh, no.
No,
Well,
it's
yes, and everybody's healthy.
absolutely,
Yeah.
they're healthy and happy, and that's the other beauty of all of this is that you get to really watch them grow every little minute moment. Although you
yes.
think you're a genius because you see all the tiny little things, and you're like, no, this is just human.
Yeah, well, don't blink an eye because they'll be before long. You know, not little babies anymore. And and congratulations, David. I'm looking forward to seeing all 5 books out. I love the titles. I love the concept. You're brilliant, and you're a perfect example on why we need the arts and culture in our lives. And you know what, Brenda? Thank you so much.
Thank you, and I hope to not. I hope to not go off topic. Sorry for going off topic, but I hope that I actually made some hot chocolate for myself for the meeting, and specifically for the meeting. I hope I wasn't being rude by drinking.
No, not at all. Not at all, David. Enjoy your hot chocolate. Thank you so much, Brenda. Thank you, Shannon. Made in Manitoba Masterclasses. Go to the website, sign up. You know what? Brenda has a way of truly finding the biggest stars in all of us. So thank you.
Take care.
You too.